So today's video is going to be a little bit of a different format. I felt inspired to do it this way for some reason, so I'm just gonna give it a try. So today I wanted to talk a bit about feeling cherished, or like looking back on past versions of me and present me feeling like the past version is really precious. No matter like how I actually was in that moment, like I could be feeling good, I could be feeling bad. It could be a photo, a video, a piece of writing that I have that I come across, any of those things. Sometimes when I look back at my old self, I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it of myself in that point in time. But right now I look at past me and I feel like they are such a precious, lovable human being who, no matter what they're going through, really deserves to be cherished, to be loved, to be deemed as important. And I wanted to talk about that with the help of some of my old videos. So the format for today is going to be similar to like a tarot pick-a-pile reading. So there are 3 piles here, and you pick the one that you feel most drawn to, the object that you feel most drawn to. And then when we get into the piles, I will talk a bit about what the particular video is. And also, I would give my, I guess, live reaction to me rewatching the past version of myself. I haven't watched any of these old videos yet. So I'm gonna do that soon. And I'm not very sure I'm gonna say yet, but we will see. So right now, if you're not familiar with pick-a-pile readings, which I wasn't until a few months ago, but anyway, yes, I watched tarot pick-a-pile readings. They're quite fun. So the first pile we have for today are this captive bead earrings. So I have these ones. These are the slightly smaller ones that I used to wear a lot. So the ones that I usually wear in my videos are bigger size than this. And these are the super small ones that I bought, but I haven't been able to unclasp them to actually use them, so I just have them around. So that's for pile 1. For pile 2, we have this comb. Not very sure what you call it, but it has a brush end on one side, fine tooth on the other, and this sharp-ish edge on the other side. So that's for pile 2. And for pile 3, we have my DSLR camera. So this is the DSLR that I have since 2010, I would say. So it's a Nikon D7000. This is a 50mm lens, and currently I have space for 910 photos if somehow the number makes a difference to you. So this is for pile 3. So I'll give you some time. Just pick the one that you think you feel most drawn to, whichever one your eyes will keep going towards, whichever one you feel like speaks to you most, or if you want, you are free to watch all 3 of them, I guess. So yep, I'm gonna leave it here for 5 more seconds, and then I'll move on into the piles where I'll actually react to the specific videos. Alright, see ya. Hi pile 1. So if you chose the captive bead rings, captive bead earrings, this is the message that is for you. On looking back at your past self and seeing how precious, cherished, and important you are. So, the video that I'm gonna watch of myself is called 1 Year After Piercing, Conch, Root, and Helix Piercings. It was published on October 4th, 2019. And we're just gonna see what's that about. So first of all, the first thing, I'm gonna link all of the videos that I watch as like videos that you can click at the end of the video. I forgot what those are called. End cards? So first of all, it's quite funny because like the first thing I noticed is that I'm wearing a watch in this video, which I haven't worn in years. And also my glasses are similar but slightly different. They're still big and round, but they're silver back then, whereas they're black now. So it's kind of like I still look like me now, but just like slightly, ever so slightly different. Anyway, so I'm about 2 minutes in, and I think it's interesting that the way I'm talking in this video is not very unfamiliar. It's kind of similar to how I talk in videos nowadays. And I do recall that on this particular day that I filmed this video, that I was feeling particularly like I was talking very well that day. Like I would say like that is my better than normal talking in this particular video, because at that time I didn't do that many voiceovers, or I haven't really filmed that many YouTube videos. So that was one. And then I attended some course where they had us talking a lot. So after going through the course, when I came back that day, I decided to film a video talking about something, and it just felt like words were coming out so smoothly, you know, coming from my brain, going out through my mouth. Sometimes what I want to say doesn't really get conveyed in the way that I want to, but I think on this particular day, I was just like in the zone, in the flow for talking, and it's quite nice to see that. So maybe that's something that you want to hear, or you need to hear right now. I'm gonna continue watching. So something else that I thought about was that in this video, obviously I'm talking about piercing, so like describing the process of what piercings I have, how I went about choosing where to get my not my earlobes, but my cartilage pierced. And it's interesting because one of the videos that I made last week was talking about adorning the outer body, the vessel. And for the last 5 years, I suppose, around there, I have obviously, like piercings have always been something that I enjoyed. And it's interesting to see how, you know, out of the fact that out of all the, I didn't really make much content back then. I didn't really make much videos back then. And that I chose to spend that time talking about piercings meant that it's important to me. So maybe there's something that you realize now about yourself that you've always liked. And it's kind of cute and precious to go back and look at like yourself from a few years ago, also being excited about that thing and remembering that, you know, it's not just current you who enjoys or is excited about a certain thing, but that even you a few years ago, even past you, was equally more, potentially if not more, excited about that thing. So that's always nice to see. And we're continuing. So another thing that's kind of funny and cute to me is how I am in this video talking about how I wanted to get my conch pierced and how I was concerned with the logistics and practicalities of the fact that I wear glasses and I didn't want the ends of my glasses to clash with my jewelry. And yeah, I just think it's kind of cute and funny. I'm still that way. I still get very concerned over small details that other people may not think about or may not even think is a problem. But to me, it's like, maybe it's also because of the fact that other people are not concerned about it that I feel like I need to worry or fret about it more. And yeah, I'm just like looking at myself and like, I probably thought it was embarrassing at that point in time. To some extent, to be like worrying about such small details, but at the same time, I'm looking back now and I'm like, that is very endearing. And it's kind of like when you look at a friend who's like, because I've accompanied my friends to pierce their ears before, and when they are fretting, I'm just like, oh, this is, endearing, and it's kind of funny to have that same reaction on myself now. So, alright, I'm continuing to watch the video. So I watched the part where I was talking about the healing times and which of my piercings were easiest to heal. And I think it's interesting because there's a piercing, the root piercing is one that most people say would take longer to heal, and a helix piercing is one that a lot of people have, and supposedly would take about the same time or shorter time to heal. But for me, it was the other way around. My root piercing was easier to heal, and my helix was more difficult. So I was just thinking, like, take it if it resonates, ignore this part if it doesn't work for you. But like, I was just thinking, maybe there is also something here that you want to hear or you need to hear right now about certain things that come easily to you. They are not the things that come easily to everyone else, and like there might be something else that that a lot of other people are doing and you feel like it would be easy, but for you it takes more effort. And that it's okay because it's just how you are built. Like in the case of my video, it's how my body heals. Yeah, so a little bit of a, I don't know if I want to call it a channel message, but a little bit of a message. And then I also talk a bit about how having piercings made me look at and also therefore appreciate my ears a bit more, like in terms of how my ears look and how they look with piercings, how I never particularly paid attention to my ears until I had piercings in them. So yeah, it's like you like the stuff, or like I like the stuff that I like for a reason, right? And then like the more I lean into it, the more I shine, the more I enjoy life, the more I am happy with myself. I think it's pretty obvious from watching this video that I was in a pretty nice place at a point in time. And particularly the point that I was filming this video, I was in a pretty happy place, talking about my piercings, talking about things I like. And it's just nice to be able to see that. Like sometimes I look back at my old videos, just being like, I'm glad, even if the video was horrible, I'm glad that I made a video at that point in time. Not specifically because of the content necessarily, but because it gives me a chance later on to look back at myself and see how I was in that moment in time. Like capturing myself on a photograph, but a bit more because it's a video. So that's all I have for you guys, part 1. I hope you enjoy today's a little different kind of format. It's a bit between a pick a card, a channeled message, and a vlog, I guess. Let me know what you think of this format, and I'm gonna move on to the next part. If you want to watch the actual video that I'm reacting to, I'm gonna scroll to the end of this video and I'll link the videos, the 3 videos, as cards, so you can click into them and watch the video yourself if you want to. Alright, that's all for you guys, part 1. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi, part 2. So if you guys pick part 2, the comb thing, this is the message for you today, whatever you need to hear. So like I said in part 1 and also part 3, because apparently I filmed it out of order. For some reason, I felt like I should listen to part 3's video first. I mean, react to part 3's video first. But yeah, I'm gonna be reacting to a video of mine from the past and looking back at that version of me with the eyes that I have now, the mindset, the frame of reference that I have now, and like there's just always so much love I have towards all the old versions of me, whether I was in a good place or a bad place. And yeah, I'm just gonna get into the video. So an interesting thing is I was gonna actually react first to a video called Giving a Piece of My Mind, and then in brackets, or not. But I now feel like I should be reacting to the video that I made just before that, and it's called Identity Tag / Introduction Thing. So because I feel more drawn to the identity tag video, I'm gonna react to that instead of the video that I originally had in mind when I made the intro. So the video that I'm gonna watch is from 2014, March 6. Okay, so like we are just like 22 seconds into this video and I already have something to say. So first of all, I start off the video of this identity tag thing saying I'm female, and it's so funny because now I don't really use that as an identity or label anymore. I don't really see myself as female. I see myself as non-binary, but raised female. So a good way to put it would be like it's a post from Tumblr I saw, like it's usually always a post from Tumblr. But a good way to put it would be like, if being female was a religion, I was raised female, but I'm no longer practicing, so like I'm not really into being female, but I know all the traits about it because I was brought up that way. The way somebody who grew up in certain religion knows certain stuff, but they don't really practice it anymore. So like that's the flavor of non-binary / female that I am. Okay, so yeah, it's quite funny that I started off my identity video, identity tag video 9 years ago with saying that I'm female when that is like not a thing that I am now. Also, another thing is like, at that point in time, man, I was really trying very hard. Like I was wearing a jacket, a hoodie, but it was actually really hot in the room when I was filming this. This was my dorm room back in university. It was so hot. I was like literally sweating. I don't know why I decided to wear the hoodie, but I guess I see all these people on YouTube looking cool in their layers and I wanted to feel that way too. So yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's just like I didn't know better. I was trying. I wanted to emulate the people that I like. And that's cute. So yeah, I'm gonna continue watching the video. another thing that's quite funny that I'm looking back at now is like, man, like that girl in the video really thought she was funny. Like, I'm not saying that I don't think I'm funny, like I still think I'm funny. But like this particular brand of funniness is like so acted out, I guess. Is what I was trying to say. Like I can see where the root of the humor comes from, and I think that same root of humor is something that I still have now. But I think I was trying a bit too hard to pretend to be someone else, like some other YouTuber that I've seen on the internet. And it wasn't really like meshing that well. So like I have all these like facial expressions, all these weird pauses, and the way I edited the video is also very like reminiscent of like 2014 YouTube, I think. But like it's quite funny because like obviously I was trying to be something, but then it was like so obviously like from my point of view now, looking at it, it's so obviously something that I'm not that like of course it doesn't mesh up, you know what I mean? But it's like she was trying, she really was. So yeah, I'm gonna continue watching the video. So there's like two things. I'm paused at 2:39 on this video, and the first thing is I said I'm a workaholic, and then I kind of went like, but not recently. And it's so funny because like objectively from my point of view now looking back, it's like I was a workaholic back in university, and I still am a workaholic. Like the difference is that back then I wasn't able to really truly see that I have workaholic tendencies, or to accept that I had workaholic tendencies. I mean, the best I could say in the video was that my friends say I'm a workaholic, so I must be, you know, like it's like, no, obviously I am. I was just not willing to accept it at that time, so that's quite funny. And also, I completely forgot the timeline of like how things turned out, because in this video I'm saying like I had the same best friend since primary 3, and like this person is no longer in my life right now. So that's funny. I have a lot to say about this person that I used to be best friends with for a really long time. So that's gonna be for another video. It will be too long to talk about it here. But it's just quite funny because it's like sometimes you just forget like what parts of your life was interwoven with what other parts of your life. And now looking back at it, it's like, yeah, that's where it all went. So, yeah, I'm gonna continue watching. So I think the interesting thing, like I finished watching the video, there's a bunch of stuff in it that's still true, there's a bunch of stuff in it that's like kind of evolved and no longer true. Like yes, I'm pretty sure I'm still in ISTJ. I guess it has to do with the fact that it was an identity tag, right? Like it was like the labels that I chose to put on myself. And some of those labels still work, and some of these labels don't anymore. And it's a bit like I look back at myself and I'm like, that's a bit cringy. Like overall the vibe that I was giving out in that video is like that's so cringy, okay? Like but at the same time there's a certain level of like, I'm overusing the word but I'm gonna do it again. There's a certain level of preciousness to be like, to the me of that time being willing to let myself be cringy. Because that was who I was in that moment. Like I wasn't as sure of myself as I am now, and would maybe be even more sure of myself in the future. But like at that point in time, I didn't really know as much as I do now about myself. And with the most or the best of what I know, I was trying to move forward in life and trying to figure out what I was. And I think like as much as I don't identify with that cringy feeling anymore, I hope maybe like future me will look back at this and think like current me is also cringy. But I think the energy of wanting to know more about myself, learn more about myself, is still one that I very much align with. And seeing that like even though past version of me was like not quite aligned fully yet with like who I am now, who I wanted to be at that time, that I was using the tools that I had available to me at that time, moving forward in the best way that I knew how. So like that energy of like wanting, yearning, and actually taking action to like, you know, learn more about myself through labels, you know, even though trying on labels that maybe turn out not fitting very well, or maybe not fitting as well as they could, or not accepting labels fully, like the workaholic one. Like those were all like work in progress, and it's cute to see myself trying. Like I don't mean this in a condescending way, but like it was cute how I was trying so hard back then. Like it's kind of like you see a baby walking its first steps, right? It's like fumbly, wobbly, kinda making one step, but not really, and you're kind of scared that they will fall. Like that's the kind of energy that I have now. But like there is underneath all of that tension and fretting, looking at the baby walking its first step, underneath all of that is this like all-encompassing sense of like positive vibe, feeling, like this sense of love and just like joyfulness towards the child, the feeling of like you're doing something. Like I know the results might not look great on the outside, but I really, really like the fact that you're trying, and I really love that you're trying. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of energy that I have towards that past version of me. So maybe that's what you needed to hear when you clicked on this poll. And also the video that I'm watching or that I reacted to, I will put it at the end of this video as an end card. So you can click on the one that is for poll 2 to watch the actual video that I reacted to if you want to. You can laugh at how cringy I was. It's alright because like I've gone past that, like, you know, even if it hurts my feelings, I'll get through it. It's okay. Yeah. So I feel compelled to say I love you, you're precious. Know that about yourself. Say it to yourself in the mirror. I do that. I try to, whenever I remember, and I see myself in the mirror, I try to say I love you to myself. Do it a few times. It sounds silly, but do it and stick with it for a while. You might see how the way you say I love you to yourself changes over time. Because that's what happened for me, and it was so weird at first to say I love you to myself in the mirror, because it's like I rarely look at myself to say I love you, or even say I love you to myself that often. But the more I do it, the more like it changed, and the more I felt like I truly meant it when I say it, and I meant it from a more secured and centered place than when I first started doing this. So yeah, if you feel drawn to do it, do it. If not, just let this message pass you by. It's fine. So anyway, that's all I have for you today, part 2. Thank you for watching this like sort of hybrid between a tarot pick-a-pal / channel message / vlog-ish format. I don't know what I'm calling this. Let me know what you think of it and whether I should make more of it. I don't really have that many. No, I'm taking it back. I don't have that many old videos to react to, so yeah. But let me know what you think about it. And that's all I have for you. Click to the end to go to the end cards if you want to see the actual video. And that's all for today. See you next time. Bye. Alright. Hi, Pal 3. So weird to see it. So if you guys chose the DSLR camera, this is the message for you today. I think I forgot to say in the intro, but basically I'm gonna talk about like how I feel looking back at this old video of myself, looking at myself in this moment in time, and maybe the messages that I have for how I feel towards this precious past version of me will resonate with you. Maybe it's something that you need to hear today. So take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Also, I feel like it's significant to say that I'm filming this PAL 3 before PAL 2. And before this, I already reacted to PAL 1's video, so maybe there's something about not doing things in order, not doing things in a linear fashion that you relate to. Alright, anyway, the video that I'm reacting to, which my past self made, is called DSLRs and Phone Cameras, a rant. I don't know why I felt the need to read the comma aloud. It's really just written as a comma. And this was published in 2014, so that's 9 years ago, on Feb 26. So this is an old video. Alright. So first of all, before I just clicked into the video, it's like 5 seconds. So I think what's interesting is I think this was filmed on my phone camera at that time, and like this was 9 years ago, right? So phone camera quality wasn't as good as it is now, and it shows. But I think that is the point of the rant, so I'm gonna watch it. And also, yeah, I'm like looking at the context behind me. Like in this video, I'm wearing an old t-shirt from one of my schools. It's not the school that I was in at this point in time, and I was also in a dormitory room, which at that point I was in, and right now I obviously do not live in a dormitory anymore. And yeah, I guess it's just there's like clear reminders of the past, and my glasses are also a different shape, and I had long hair back then, so like a lot of things are very different about me. I'm gonna watch a bit more of the video and then I'll see what I think about this version of me. I gotta say this, it's 15:15 on my phone, like my time, my clock as I say this. If you guys were not expecting a kind of like tarot-ish channel message kind of thing, I'm sorry I sprang this on you. Anyway, so this video, it's only 3 minutes long. I'm like about a third through it now. But I'm just like, oh man, this past version of me was so how do I put this? The word is not shy or reserved, because I would still use the words shy and reserved to describe myself now. I think there was a more obvious mask that I was putting on the outside. There was a mask that I had on the outside that I constructed so that other people couldn't see in to how I really was. But at the same time, that outside performance, that mask wasn't really me. And so it kind of shows in the way I talk. So in this particular video, the way I'm talking, my mouth isn't opening very big. You can kind of sense the lack of confidence. the feeling that there's more things that want to come through, there's more words that I want to say, but which I'm having a hard time voicing in this particular video. And like, I know how it feels to be there because I've been there. Like that was literally me a few years ago, right? So I know how it feels to not be able to voice out all the things that you want to say, to be able to express yourself the way you really want to kind of feel like you have a bit of a mask on, but also at the same time, I don't think all of it is like conscious or intentional. In this video, I'm wearing black nail polish, which was also always a thing that I wanted when I was younger. Like, I really like emo, the look of like emo dressing, MySpace, that kind of aesthetic. And like, at this point, I was in university, so I was like, yay, I have the chance to not have to wear uniform and I can paint my nails, so I did. And now, like, current me, I'm old enough to know that I don't particularly enjoy having nail polish on my fingertips just because it makes me feel a bit like an extreme example would be cats having tape on their paws. Like, I feel like that, but not to the extent that cats react that way. So like, I don't like having things on my fingernails, but at the point I didn't know that. I just wanted to try because it was something that I've always watched from afar, like, you know, from the internet. I've seen emo boys and girls painting their nails black, and I thought that was so cool and I wanted to be like that, so I gave it a try. And I guess right now I'm looking back at the energy being like, that is so precious and cute. Like, obviously I'm not, like, I'm still very, very early in the journey of like knowing myself, learning about myself, what I really like, what I, you know, I'm not fully there yet. You know, I have a vague inkling of what I like, and I have a strong sense that I'm not there. I'm not that person yet. So that is the place that I was in now, and right now I'm just feeling like, you know, like, you will get there. You will get there. It might not look like the case right now, but you will. And like, the fact that past me was trying so hard with whatever she had in her means to explore and accomplish what she always yearned for in her heart. Like, I applaud that courage, I applaud that bravery, even though on the outside it may not look like that. You get what I mean? And also, like, I'm looking at the stuff in my bookshelf and also the pair of black jeans above the cupboard. It's quite funny what has stayed and what hasn't. Oh, there's also a clipboard. So, like, the black jeans and the clipboard have stayed. I still have those items, but they have been kind of transformed a bit. The clipboard is no longer in its plastic wrapping. I don't know why I never took it out back then. So I've taken the plastic wrapping off. I've used it as a piece of decoration along with other things. I added to it to make it a piece of decoration in my room right now. The jeans I still have. I gave it to my brother. He didn't wear it. I took it back. But in the time that it was with him, he got the waist taken in a bit, so now it fits me better. So maybe there's something there in that particular thing that is you know, a metaphor, an analogy for something close to what's happening to you in your life. You have something, you give it to somebody else, it came back to you better. Something like that. So those are the things that are still with me in my life. The books on the bottom though, yeah. No, I don't like those books. They were books that I read or came into during my course of study, which is architecture, which is not something that I'm currently doing, and which I basically left like 3 years ago now, I think. So yeah, like, the sense I have towards this particular version of me that is in this video 9 years ago is I can see that you're trying so hard. You have no idea what you want. You have the beginnings of an idea, but you are really not sure, and there's no way for you to figure out how to go other than just by physically experiencing it, like just actually moving through the thing. And that journey is not nice, and I mean, it's not always nice, and I fully sympathize with that, but unfortunately that is the way you need to go. And I just want to be like cheering myself on. Yeah, I mean, even though objectively I know I already made it through and I'm like here talking to myself now, right? But if like this me was a different person, like as in like not me but another person experiencing the exact same set of circumstances, I would be like I can see now from my point of view many steps ahead for them, but I know that they are not able to see it at that point in time. But I generally headed in the right direction, and all I can say is like I'm so glad you're so brave to walk through it, and I can't help you, but the only thing I can do is cheer you on. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna actually continue watching the video. So another thing that's come up as I continue watching the video is I can hear the way I'm speaking in this video, and I don't think I have a particularly stuffy nose. Like, I don't think it's particularly more stuffy than usual. I have a stuffy nose on most days, but I don't think it was any worse than normal. But at that point in my life, I was speaking with my... If you watch this versus the video from part 1, anyway, all of the videos that I'm like watching, reacting to, I will put them as end cards at the end of this video. So if you scroll all the way to the end, there will be videos that pop up. Click on them and it'll bring you to the video itself. But at that point in time, I was speaking so from like, I wasn't speaking from deeper into my body. I wasn't speaking from like my diaphragm or my lung space, my chest space. I wasn't even speaking really from my throat space. I feel like it sounds a bit like I'm speaking from like my nose. Like it sounds a bit like I'm speaking from like very high up on my nose, and I sound very out of breath. So yeah, I think that is another thing that like is a bit heartening to see now that I've changed so much, that I've learned and grown so much from this past version of me. And also that like, you know, even back then when I wasn't sure of anything, I was aware of the fact that like I didn't really need to apologize for filming with a poorer quality camera. Also it's funny because now I feel like whenever I do go back, like I don't know if you've noticed, so there's something a bit about cameras here. In some of my option C videos, especially like the outtakes at the end, I filmed them with an old digital camera to get the kind of graininess that is a bit nostalgic. And it's funny because that camera I've had since like before this video. The DSLR that I'm talking about in this particular video that I'm reacting to is the same one that you see, that you picked, Power 3. And it's interesting to me how much has changed and how much hasn't, like what has stayed on in my life from basically 10 years ago right till now. Yeah, so it kind of smells, I don't know why that's the word I chose. It kind of smells to me like I had the beginnings of knowing what I wanted, but I wasn't sure how to fit all these puzzle pieces into myself in a way that will make it coherent, is how I feel. It's like I just feel like, oh man, I really want to help you self from 9 years ago, but I know that there's nothing I can do but to sit here and witness your growth and your transformation. So maybe that's what you need to hear today, to look back at your past self with a bit more grace and a bit more compassion, because or maybe to look at your current self with more grace and more compassion from the eyes of yourself a few years later. To know that whatever you're feeling right now, whatever problems that you have, however you might feel like you're not fully the person that you want to be yet, that you are on the right path. And the only way to move is forward and through it. And it's not gonna be fun, probably. It's not gonna be nice, probably. Like, I'm not that optimistic. But it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. And like, know that your future self is looking at you like you're precious and you're cherished, and they really want to help you, but the best they can do is just to witness you grow in this moment. And you right now in this present moment, like, there's a lot of things you can't see, but know that you're moving in the right direction. And through all the thickets and thorns and bushes and new terrain that you have to forge through with a machete, don't know why that's the image that comes to mind, know that all the effort would be worth your while. Yeah. Man, my throat is closing up, and this, like, the actual video I'm reacting to is so much shorter than part 1, but this message is like so much longer. Okay, I actually finished watching the video. It's really quite short. But I guess I have a lot of thoughts about it, and I guess in a way it makes sense because this was more years back in the future. More years back in the past, and I kind of forgot how I was. And sometimes it's a bit difficult to look back at that version of me and be like, especially because I know that they're going through a period in their life where they're very unsure, they don't really know what their direction is, things are a bit unclear. To be able to sit with that uncomfortable feeling, like, even though I'm the same person, well, debatable, but I am continuously the same person that walked through that. I'm not exactly the same person that I was back then, but that was a version of me that allowed the current version of me to happen, right? Like, I guess I just feel grateful. I just feel grateful that, like, that version of me has come so far. And it's a bit different from the kind of, like, happy, loving, cherished feeling that I have from part 1. This one is a bit more, like, nuanced. It's a bit more difficult. Like, of course, I still think of my past self as being a very precious piece of me, but I can see how difficult it was for me back then, and I just want to give myself a big hug, Like, I want to give the past version of me a big hug. And yeah, maybe that's what you need to hear today. So that's kind of a low note to end on part 3, but it's where I'm gonna end off. If you are ever so inclined to, feel free to click on any of the end cards to see the actual videos that I reacted to, but you really don't have to, especially not for this part, I feel. But then again, it is the shortest video, so why not? But what I want to say is, things might not be clear right now, but have faith, have hope, because past you has walked through that fire to forge the you that you are now, and future you knows that current you will still have that strength and mental fortitude to walk through any trials that you're thrown. And it's not probably gonna feel fun in the moment, but you'll turn out fine. You'll turn out fine. So I think that's what you need to hear for today. Let me know what you guys think of this sort of in between a tarot pick a pile / channeled message / vlog format for today. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying it out. So that's all for you guys, pile 3. See you guys next time.